Hello everyone, welcome back. This lesson we're just going to be looking at some calculator tips using our Casio Classpad to work with questions with function notation to find unknown x values, but also to substitute in values nice and quickly. So let's just quick recap of our function notation. Let's say we've got f of x equals to 2x minus 7 and you're asked to find f of 3. That just means can you find this equation when this x here is 3. So you might go, well, I'll sub that in. 2 times 3 is 6 minus 7 is negative 1. Really easy. What if you get something like f of, let's say, root 5 for example, or let's say your original equation was something a little bit more complex. Let's say you had x minus 3 cubed minus x to the power of 4 plus 5, and you go, well, doing that by hand, that's going to suck. So if we know our equation, let's keep it nice and simple just for this example. Let's say we had x squared plus 3x minus 5. Find f of 3, and let's also say, let's find out when f of x equals to 0. Just find its intercepts. We can, using our Classpad, go to keyboard. So here's our main screen. We go to keyboard, math 3. So down there, math 3. You'll have all of these keys here. You notice that the one to the top, towards the top left, define. So we're going to tell our calculator we want to define. Now, right next to it, you've got F for function. You've also got G, so you can use two functions at the same time. You've got a full keyboard in here laid down the track if you want to do more than two, but for now, let's just do F. And we've got a pair of brackets just next to the greater and less than signs here. So I'm going to put that in. And then you want to go tell the calculator what variable we're going to work with. So I hit X. So I'm going to define f of x, and then I use the equal sign. So down the bottom left here of your keyboard, sorry, top left of your keyboard, just above the 7 next to the x, and you type in your equation. So I've got x squared plus 3x minus 5, and then hit execute, and calculator will say done. So now it knows whenever you type in f of x, it knows you're using this equation. So I have to sub in, so to find f of 3, I can just go f, open brackets, and put in my value, hit execute. And there we go, answer is 13. I can do the same thing if I want to find out what is x when x is 0. It should get negative 5 if it's done it correct. There we go. So, now what happens if you want to find our missing y value, or the value of the function we know is 0. We're going to find the missing x value. So f of x equal to 0, it could be equal to anything. We can't just type it straight in here. We have to go to solve and then type in our full equation. So f of x, go to the end, go to arrow across, equals, for this example I'm doing 0, and then go comma x. Tells your calculator what variable you want to find, and then I've got to close my brackets. So again, solve, still in math 3, type in f of x equals what you want it to equal. For this example I've picked 0, comma x, close the bracket, execute, and you notice, oh look at that, some nice surds in my answer. So there's my two x intercepts. So it saves me doing the whole quadratic formula. It's giving me my 2 here. Now if I wanted to find out where they were, if I'm sketching it, I can go up the top here, 0.5, see that little button top left, 0.5 to a half. It just converts it quickly to a decimal. So at negative 4.2 and 1.2 for my 2. If I want the exact values back, I can just highlight it, click it again. Okay. So again, hey, let's say you want to do the same thing, but this time you want to find out when it equals to 20. Chuck in 20, x, and there's your x values. So if you're sketching a graph, it's parabola, the 2 points that where it crosses 20 is going to be negative 6.7 and 3.7. Okay, so f of x, let's say, put in 17 if you wanted to. So it helps us when you're doing repeated substitutions of the same equation, or when it's too hard or takes too long to do it by hand. So you can see here, if you subbed in 17 here, 17 squared plus 3 to lots of 17 minus 5 will be 335. Okay, if you want to get a visualization of what that looks like, you can hit your little graph button, and then you can just highlight f of x from wherever it is, drop it on, and it draws a quick sketch of it. if I wanted to draw f of 3, let's see what happens here. Oh, it's just going to be a point, isn't it? At 13. There it is there, 13. So, if you want to get rid of it all, clear all. Yep. So if I put f of x on there, drop that down, go, hey, alright, I need my intercepts. So if I go to Analyze, Gsolve, XY Calc, and I want to find the X intercepts, so I type in Y0, you'll notice that the graphing bit only gives me decimals. I can't flick between the exact answers. So if I'm sketching this, alright, I need my exact solutions. You can use the main window and do the solve fx equals 0 to find negative root 29 on 2 minus 3 on 2 would be this value here. Alright. When you're doing the sketch and doing Gsolve, you only get decimals. Okay. I hope this saves you some time, and I hope it's been worthwhile. All the best.